Hello everybody. So today's fresh thought is I've been thinking a lot about time management and the importance of time management. And for me, time management is a huge topic. It's everything from how long I'm spending brushing my teeth to how long I'm investing in myself by learning a new skill or developing skills in different programs and things, and also how much time I'm investing in looking for jobs and developing those working sort of relationships with people. I think the most important thing to remember is that whatever you decide to do with your time that should be the optimum outcome that you could possibly achieve. It's vital to remember that whatever you choose to do now can and most probably will have implications on things you do in the future, and whether that be in 5 minutes time or a month down the line or even a year down the line. So it is important to just keep thinking about what you're doing even when you're kind of having a break. And following on from having a break, now sometimes when you're doing a lot of work, or I've got a lot of work on, a lot of pressure on, I get to a point where I feel like just not doing a lot. And okay, yeah, I think everyone potentially hits this kind of wall, so to speak. But for me personally, I kind of take that a little bit as kind of like my body or my brain saying, look, you're not approaching this project or this particular task in the correct manner. And I'm not saying that means, I'm spending too much time on it. It might mean that I'm not necessarily thinking of potentially what I'm achieving from it. I might be achieving like an educational purpose. It might be developing a skill that will help me more in the future, or I might be getting a financial gain from this particular project, or I might even be creating something that's going to encourage me to have a better working relationship with someone or a team of people or even a company. One of the most important things to remember is the decisions that you make right now potentially and definitely will have a direct implication on things you do in the future, whether that be 5 minutes time, or in a week's time, or a year's time, or even way further down the line when you end up retiring or something like that. So it's important. It's important. I can't stress enough. It's important to think about your actions and think about the decisions you're making. And yeah, okay, some decisions you can make very quick and bang, 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 and that's beautiful. And it's wonderful to be in that environment where you're having to make decisions very quick and you're seeing an outcome potentially very quick, and people around you are kind of very rewarding when you do that, and so on and so forth. But sometimes you do have to really think about the pros and cons of potential outcomes of what might happen for the decision that you're making right now. This happens to me, I think, quite a lot in my professional environment, and yeah, I kind of embrace it. I think the most important thing is to embrace that and embrace all the decisions that you have to make and the different pathways and options you kind of have on your horizon. But kind of going back to the topic and talking about time management, and as the world's aware, we're currently in like lockdown and quarantines kind of hitting everyone, and it's very easy to fall into this rut of potentially not being very productive or not utilising your time very well, because I don't know about you guys, but for me, if I'm told I've got a month, then I've got a month in it locked in, then I can just do it tomorrow. And that's a horrible mentality to fall into, because life's very precious. And okay, yeah, we can't potentially go out and work too much for a while, and we don't know how long that'll be. But to waste time on just nothingness is just horrible. We haven't got enough time. There's just not enough time in life to do that. So it's important to kind of get out of bed and don't lay in bed all day. It's okay to do it sometimes. Like, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I just chill out. Everyone needs that. You have to unlock from life sometimes, and you kind of just de-wind, or you end up just glitching out. And no one needs to glitch out, because that's when life kind of sucks. It's just not fun like that. So yeah, so you got to get up. You got to think, okay, what are my tasks for the days, and jumping back onto, I like my goals. Today's goals are going to be, for me in particular, working on my other bike, because I've just gone into this kind of phase of doing all these push bikes, doing my bikes, and going on the computer, looking at what emails I've got from different clients, and kind of processing those. And if there's any to-dos, do those things in the emails. Don't put them off till after lunch. Maybe put them off till after you've had your breakfast or something, but don't leave them till just before you go to bed, because one of those conversations that you have with someone that day might lead to something else, and that's the important thing to remember. It's to remember, this isn't wasting my time, because I've got time right now. I've got time to invest in typing out 100 emails if I want to today, or I've got time to scour the internet looking for companies and looking for brands that might use my skills to go somewhere, you know. So yeah, so we're getting up out of bed, we're looking at today's tasks, today's projects, what else can we do? And it doesn't necessarily have to be a working task for that day. Like I said, I've been messing around building these bikes and doing a bit of spray painting and just being creative in that way. And for me, that's not a waste of time, because having a push bike for me to go out and ride is a great time for me to have an actual break from being at home and dealing with the things that are at home, the work things, and just being stuck indoors or being stuck in the garden, and it's great. So I've invested time in doing this bike, which has allowed me to come out, and it's allowed me to come out and have thinking space to make these videos and do the podcasts, and yeah, keeping on track again. It's just vital. It's vital that we just look at where we want to go. That's why I can't stress enough. And lots of people don't have a clue where they want to go. Well, it's not at the forefront of their mind where they want to go. And when you say to someone, "Oh, what do you want to do in the future?" or "What job would you like to have?" or "What skills would you like to be able to possess?" and they go, "Oh, I don't know," but they do know. But they're just not asking themselves the right questions. I think what lots of people do is they're setting their goals too big, and then it becomes too the anxiety of that kind of settles in, and people think, "Oh well, I don't know what job I want to do, so won't do anything, or I'll just stay in the job I want to do now." And that's not the right way. They're not the right frame of mind, in my opinion. What you need to do is you need to look at what you enjoy in life, whether that's making things or being with your friends or drinking alcohol or cutting the grass in the garden. You can see where I got my inspiration for that one. There's always something that people enjoy. I just refuse to accept the fact that someone might say I don't enjoy anything, because there's always something. Even if it's watching TV, like you might particularly enjoy a certain thing. And it's just asking yourself loads of questions and analysing what your answers are, whether you think they're rubbish answers or not. There's always something that someone can do, and then for me, it's then tailoring your life around the things you enjoy doing. So I'm fairly lucky. I fairly on I realised I like making things, which I always have, and I enjoyed photography, so that kind of led me on to doing film, and I enjoy just speaking to people. So okay, yeah, they're like three really awesome things, but someone else might think, "Oh well, I like taking pictures, so I'll just take pictures in the garden on my phone or just when I'm out." But why not become a photographer? Like, you can make money doing that. You can do that kind of thing. What else did I say? Making things. Now, for me, growing up, I always used to make stuff. I used to have like Connects and Lego and so on and so forth, and I was always doing that kind of just gluing and sticking, and I just absolutely love that. And for me, as an adult version of that is doing animation work or creating a video edit or doing stuff on Photoshop. That's just like a grown-up version of those things. So that, yeah, great. I make money off doing that. That's my job, and I love it. And then I don't know what else I say. Just going out and about, talking to people. That's the one. So these videos, talking to people. As a freelancer, I'm around so many people all the time, talking to people, building communication skills, building working relationships, and just friendships. Full stop. So that's just three things that I do in my life that are things that I enjoy, that I've managed to turn into a career. And okay, it's not easy for everyone, and it wasn't easy for me. And some people, I understand, have it a lot harder than me. But that's why I think it's so important to live your life and not just you want to thrive and not survive on Earth. And that is just 100%. And yes, some people have more complicated stories than other people. They might have like a load of kids, or they might have a disability, or they may be just ill in a way that they can't do that, or mental health or anything like that. But for those people in particular, it's so important to figure out what you like. And it is, because the moment you figure out what you like, everything just goes uphill. It goes uphill, whether you're just doing something even as a hobby. Because I speak to lots of people, and lots of people don't even have hobbies, and I think that's just crazy. And when I say hobby, it doesn't mean, oh, I'm going to the local gym playing badminton 4 times a week. Like, for me, a hobby can be anything. A hobby can be trying to get a cool Instagram picture of your cat, but you're doing that all the time, or or you're doing some drawing, or you're going on the internet researching things that you find particularly interesting, and especially with research, broadening your horizon, building a sort of bigger brain capacity can only really make you a more interesting person from my experience. I don't know anyone that just sits down and just looks at a blank wall day in, day out. Everyone has something that they like, and it's those things are what can push you through life and make you just enjoy things a lot better. So to kind of summarise as to where we're at, time management, important to think about all the things that you are doing. Bear in mind the things you have done in the past, but knowing you can't change those things, we can only change the future. So we're thinking about the tasks in hand. We're constantly giving ourselves new tasks. These tasks might be small things. They might be, I'm going to ensure I do the washing up as soon as the washing up's there, or I'm going to learn a new computer program, or I'm going to make a new working relationship. And if I don't know how to make those working relationships, I'm going to research how to make good working relationships with people. And finally, just don't give up. Whatever you do, don't give up. Find things that you particularly find interesting and just latch onto those things. And if you can't consciously think of something that you find interesting, think about what you find interesting. So I hope you guys have been, I hope this has kind of resonated with you guys. It definitely helps me. Just getting this out in the air kind of makes me feel better, and it kind of opens up my mind to new things. So until the next one, see ya.